Coach. Thank you. There's a look at New Era Field here in Orchard Park, New York. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup here in Week 3 between the Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills. This will be fielded at the 8. Shedding the tackle. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And right away, he lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They set up the screen to Penny. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And that is incomplete. Morris Claiborne, the former #1 pick of the Cowboys there defensively. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for Week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in Week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete to open things up. It's tight end Clay, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
Now McCoy. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Penny. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So their move is to decline that so they don't get another second down. It'll be third.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their third down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's a sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on third down.
with the penalty. It's Penny. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And Bullock will put this one through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the three.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
That's Cordell Patterson hauling it in. And out across midfield down to the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
On second down, it's McCoy. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage and mixed traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll try and run it with McCoy. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing it.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They'll come out in the pistol. And he fires one, but incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Now Wilson, escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Now a first down carry here from McCoy. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Allen. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Brad Nordman now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Baldwin's first catch going to be good enough for a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On second down, Wilson. Over the middle, Jerome Brown's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Flush to his right. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And this is going to be incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes. Yeah,
you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Here's a give to Penny. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a gain of 8, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Buffalo after this. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And it's a big play there on 3rd down, but with the marker on the field, I don't think it's going to hold. Let's see.
Offense.
So a decent gain, still all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 3rd down, Penny. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now here's Michael Dixon standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney!
Play action. Now it's Allen. And this one is incomplete. Jeremy Curley, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Detroit!
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Allen now looks to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Nortman on the kick as he sends it away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. So due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Our starters likely to be out there for the 3rd quarter as we get back underway in this 2nd half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this 2nd half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of it.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny. And now running right through it. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this 3rd quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the 2nd half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the 3rd quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And that'll set him back 5. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. He may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Being chased out left. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Penny will try to punch it in, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now let me try again on second down. Going deep for Benjamin. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Wilson. Full left side complete. It's Welch. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Jerry Hughes on the stop.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They're on to the second half now down in Miami. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Ben Roethlisberger, a couple of touchdown passes thus far. This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
After the penalty, it's McCoy. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Allen going to throw. Allen hit. He lost the football. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Here's Allen looking for his tight end Clay, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Trying to get it to Clay that time.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanking the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Wilson, and that's going to be incomplete. Morris Claiborne, the former #1 pick of the Cowboys there defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up 2nd down.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Welch. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, this from 39. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
I'll bet you as they ran out there for that play, the head coach either on his headset or he pulled him aside and told the special teams coordinator, whatever block you've got, pull it out of the bag right now. We need a spark.
When you could just feel it on their sideline, the air just kind of out of the balloon. Now maybe you're right, a spark, a little bit of hope.
That's when the special teams coordinator who works on this ad nauseum, I'm talking about morning, noon, and night, he's trying to figure out, okay, where's my best opportunity? Which one do I have? And he pulled the right one and got his team going and hopefully back into the game.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Back now in Buffalo. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4.
No. Check. Patriot.
The first thrown out for the backup, Nathan Peterman. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that's caught inside the 35.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now they try the right side here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Holding, offense.
In the backfield, the pass protect, and sometimes trying to protect the QB, you hold.
And the key word, as you noted, protect, right? Sometimes you get out of position, get out of whack. It's just quarterback protect mode, and he got nailed for the penalty.
Second down, Peterman. Letting one go deep for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on fourth down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further.
Offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and it'll be a second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Bullock good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time a 6-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Peterman and the Bills come up now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Here's Peterman. Over the middle, it's Holmes. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal foul.
I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready?
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Jeremy Curley from 19 yards away. And the Bills cut into that lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Stays on his feet. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. 29 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
This will be taken about the 12. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Listen, the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
Pass interference. Defense.
So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
And incomplete on the deep ball. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now. Peterman looking again for Thomas. This time complete. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing now, Peterman on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Holmes. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Peterman. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. They put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. The Bills on third down. A very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, Peterman. A bullet throw, but incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Pass interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll bring up 2nd down. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They go play action now. Peterman. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Bradley McDougald that time able to knock it away.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. As they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Now let's go. Boo, Niners.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And an alley to run. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Now the Bills will take another timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now it's Carson. And an alley to run. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Buffalo.